Welcome back inside 3M Arena at Mariucci. We get set for our second contest of today, JWHL action. A little exhibition hockey. Shattuck St. Mary's 19 against the Pacific Steelers in from Vancouver, British Columbia. Just before this, we had Northwood with a 3-2 overtime win over Stanstead. And it looks like they just put 18 minutes on the clock for this one instead of the traditional 20. Don't know if that was done in air or because it's an exhibition. We're only doing 18. Anyway. Boy, that one out the post. Nearly an opportunity early on for number 9 of Pacific. Again, we had this issue yesterday with that number 9. We don't know who that is. The roster we've been provided does not. It has a number 9, but it's the same gal that wears number 18. And when we looked online, we don't know who it is. Actually, we do have an update. It looks like it's Mael Briggs they have online now for the Pacific Steelers wearing number 9. So we're going to go with Briggs. Quick shot, big save. Rebound, goal. Shattuck, 1-0. Minute into this one. 102 specifically. Big rebound that time. Rika Heisel, the Quinnipiac commit, pounding that one home. To get the see who the assists go to, but bottom line, 1-0 for the team from Faribault, which is, we said they're about an hour south here of Minneapolis. Big time hockey school. McKenna Deckham between the pipes again for Pacific. And it looks like number 35, Aaron Monk, getting the start for the Sabres from Shattuck St. Mary's. I said 1-0 start. Shattuck St. Mary's, this Shattuck St. Mary's squad yesterday was beaten 4-0 by Northwood earlier on in the day. A shot from way out. Just 102 into that game, 1-0 Shattuck. What are you saying? Last night Pacific had a 4-3 game with Naha, I believe it was. And that was our late game, if I'm not mistaken, here at Mariucci, where it ended at really after 10 o'clock local time, and then turn around 12 hours later, Pacific back on the ice. Plus a 2 a.m. or a 2-hour time difference, whether that affects the young ladies, I doubt it. But just throwing it out there for. Three on two far side boards. Referees generally been letting them play. Yeah, I think somebody, the official hollered something like play. We'll try this once again. Cooper in there, among others, for Pacific. And finally that puck does come back, and we go back to hockey action. I suppose trying that wraparound that time was number 13 for Shattuck, Ava Karami. Quick move by that young lady, backhand, forehand. But Deckham was there for the save. And can Pacific, the Steelers, get something out of their own zone? They do, but they lose it at neutral. Shattuck will control. Clifford, number 11, with the puck. Claire sends it across. Opportunity. Not sure if got a piece of that all was Deckham, but it went high, ended up high over the cage. Opportunity that time by number 12, Emma Schultz, for Shattuck St. Mary's. All the way down. They are going to be on ice if that puck gets there, and it will. With 13:36 to go here in a 1-0 Shattuck lead. Pacific, they had a really good contest yesterday with the Minnesota Ice Cougars, who were an invite. Unfortunately for Pacific, lost that one in the overtime session. It took all of 23 seconds in, but Pacific tied it. About 4 minutes to go, I should say, on a goal by Ho Kwang. Keeping that one in are the maroon sweatered Shattuck St. Mary 19 squad. They also have a prep squad, and I believe they are in the next game here at 3M Marina. Mariucci, Deckham with another save. And lady's been busy early. Pacific has no commits listed. Shattuck has 7 players committed to play collegiate hockey. And off here, turnover in front. Staying with that puck. Rebound. That was going to squirt just wide of the cage. Heisel, again, she had the goal early. Nearly had her second there, did the future Quinnipiac Bobcat. Back up top. Shattuck. Shot through traffic. That hit traffic in front. Heisel with the rebound. Puck is loose in the crease. Puck somehow squirts out of the blue. Both Heisel was there and Jebaskova. How it's not 2-0, I don't know. Shattuck with a great opportunity. Definitely gotten the better of the play in the opening 6 minutes of this hockey game. And including a goal just 1:02 in. That puck all the way down. Monk just gets the paddle down, leaves it for her teammate number 7, Allie McIntosh. McIntosh, a 2027 grad. Shattuck, stop, spinning. That was Jebaskova. She'll continue with the puck. She'll shoot. That goes high. Little touch pass this time back to Heisel. Heisel tries to backhand that across. Just goes into the corner. And Pacific tries to get it out. Unfortunately for them, it is kept in by Shattuck. Jebaskova's short. Tried to go, she deked one and then tried to go far side. Missed just wide. I think Pacific needs a whistle. Get some fresh players out on the ice. That puck is going to be kept in. Shattuck, good cycle that time. Down low, number 9 is Monaco. Sophia Monaco for Shattuck. Stop, spins. Here's 16, Allison Baker. For Pacific, again, the Steelers just cannot get out of the zone. And now we're going to have a penalty upcoming on Pacific. Delayed call. Shattuck has an extra skater on. Pacific still has yet to touch it. Shattuck will be forced to regroup. Arm still in the air for the official. Shattuck, 6 skaters shot on. And we've got a whistle. Time of this one, 7:24. And it looks like number 14 for Pacific, Kate Johnston, to sit. I think it was a trip. Bottom line, Shattuck, first power play of this morning's hockey game, coming at 7:24. Shattuck's had really good puck movement, 5-on-5. What are they going to do 5-on-4? They're going to score 16 from 10. Jebaskova from Heisel, 2-0. Just nice passing play. That took all of 14 seconds on that power play for Shattuck. And for Jebiskova, that's her 21st goal of the year. Heisel, by the way, now has 33 goals and 30 assists. Okay, she had that assist on the first goal as well. Claire Clifford, number 11, 33 and 31, 64 points to lead Shattuck St. Mary's in scoring coming into this one. By the way, Aaron Monk, their goaltender, 15 and 4 coming in. Her goals against 138. Save percentage is 932. She does have 6 shutouts on the year. Sarah Murray is the coach. Pete Johnson, the assistant coach for Shattuck. Pacific coached by Dana Birch. $9:33 to go in the first. 2-0 in favor of SSM. And I believe we have a timeout taken by Pacific. Or I did not see who it was. It might have been Shattuck. No, it's definitely the penalty door. Box door is open on the Pacific side, but nobody's going over that way. Let's see what this is all about. We're 8:27 into this opening period. Might have been Birch just trying to settle down her Steelers. Face-off will be in the Pacific zone as we go back to action. All right, we do play on after that little bit of a breather. This is Briggs trying to get it out for Pacific. Kept in by Shattuck St. Mary's, however. As we said, Shattuck just controlling play, pretty much moving the puck seemingly at will in the Pacific end early in this hockey game. 1-on-3 along the half wall, and it's going to come away as a Shattuck player. Far side, nope, didn't get it much on that one, was number 7, Allie McIntosh. Sure she'd like to have that opportunity back because she had a good look at the net, just didn't get a good shot off. Pacific in the zone, can they keep it there? Here's Briggs, shadowed that time by McIntosh for Shattuck. And it's going to be Shattuck's number 18, Alois Davis, or DeBus. I'm assuming it's DeBus, D-E-B-U-S. Again, apologize if we're missing that. She's a St. Scholastica commit, by the way. Going to go about 2.5 hours north of here, up in lovely Duluth, Minnesota. Shores of Lake Superior, just up the hill from University of Minnesota Duluth. Shattuck St. Mary's to regroup. Nemke, number 14, with the puck. And a full head of steam wheeling through the zone. Another shot that was blocked, and the save by Leckham. Looking for a call that time was Jebiskova, who lost her stick. Compliments of a Pacific defender. Not going to get that call. And really, there was no need for a call there, I didn't think. But never hurts to ask. All right, can Pacific get something going out this time? Good pressure, forehand, backhand. Good puck movement again. Fortunate break there. SSM had a couple players on that backside. It was cleared out by a defender. Might have been number 21, Cooper. Or check that, Pander for Pacific. Here come the Sabres once again. Heisel got a goal and an assist already, and that rebound is there. Leckham Deckham, I should say, another save for Pacific. Trying to see if we can get an actual shots on goal total. We don't have one available on the web at the moment. But it's a lot to a little. We know that much. Puck back into the zone. Monk touching the puck for one of the few times in the opening 11 minutes of this hockey game. Shattuck loses the puck at neutral, but they do get it back in their own zone, splitting a couple of defenders' opportunity. And Pacific is going to have to tag up. That was Latenya, was knocked down just inside the zone. I'd say literally a foot in front of the blue line, but still across the zone. And she's going to get the puck far side wall. 1-on-2. Not going to win that battle as Shattuck pokes it ahead. Clifford trying to split the defenders in a race down to the goal line. And it's going to be Johnston there first for the Steelers. But Clifford actually is going to come away with the hockey puck. And Shattuck will be forced to regroup right at the 3M Arena at Mariucci, one of the two logos on the ice. Briggs looking to bring it out for the Steelers. She'll just dump it in. They're going to change a couple. Actually, they're going to change 3 behind the play. Shattuck's going to dump this one down. Actually got stopped at neutral. It was right along the near side boards. We lost track of the puck as the benches and boards got in the way. And Shattuck to control again in their own end with McIntosh. McIntosh backhands it over far side, trying to get it to Hale. Hale in deep for the Sabres. Poked all the way out of the zone by Pacific. Shattuck making a little move that time on her way in was Alex Karame. Karame. Karami. Pacific again just struggling to get this puck out of their own zone. Just under 5 to go in this opening period. They're already down by a 2-0 count, and that should be an ice. And it will be. That was one I think it just got lofted down there just so you could get a line change and a whistle. A lot of the Pacific skaters, they look like they're just almost gassed already. A lot of chasing in their own end. Try to center it across. Opportunity, no, didn't get a good shot off that time. Rebound was nearly there, and we got a little extra pushing after the whistle. I think that was Silliman in for Shattuck. Yeah, well, she's got the jersey tucked in. Hard to read the 22 on the back, but definitely a 22 on the sleeve. Draw controlled by the Steelers. Off the boards, but it's going to go to Shattuck. Backhand forehand stop. Spin, quick shot. That deflected in front. I believe that was Baker with the deflection for the Pacific Steelers. And Shattuck keeps this one in. Near side. Herzl. Center the cross. Oh, that one hit iron. I checked that was Heisel, not Herzl. My apologies. Nearly 3-0 for Shattuck St. Mary's. And they control the puck once again with Heisel. Heisel class of 2027. And in front. And that shot was blocked by a defender. Backhand. That one hit iron. Couple of chances for Shattuck to go up by 3. All the way down. They are going to wave off that icing. The one official had the arm in the air on the far side. Near side official waved it off. And we shall play on here from 3M Arena. And we've got games here basically all day, and then a couple are actually going to be next door over at Ritter Arena, home of the Gopher women's hockey team. Shattuck, backhand, forehand. Again, good pressure by Shattuck. Clogging the lane is Pacific. And the puck is going to get out of the zone. Abrahams Rothschild gets it down. That one will be an ice. 3:01 to go. First period. 3-0 Shattuck. And again, hey, happy Hockey Day, Minnesota. Big celebration of the sport everybody loves. Got a lot of high school games going on. Uh, 3-0 Shattuck, by the way. First player to the bench is number 13 for Shattuck. That would be Ava Karami. Time of this one is at 15:06. Again, we're saying Hockey Day in Minnesota with a lot of activity throughout the land of 10,000 frozen lakes, including 3 big high school games down in Hastings, just a little southeast of where we're at. Kids playing outside where the temperature currently a -11. We had an AHL game there last night between the Iowa Wild and the Milwaukee Admirals. I think a pretty good crowd. I did not hear a result of that game, but I saw some photos. And it went into overtime. I saw some video of the Admirals going out for the morning skate, and you could hear them say how cool that was down to the Hockey Day setup. And Minnesota Wild will play tonight. They've got the Florida Panthers in town. Culture shock from Miami. It's 11 below here, but the defending Stanley Cup champs are in town. Maybe some of these ladies will get an opportunity if their games get done early enough. They can head over to the Grand Casino Arena for that one. .145 to go in this opening frame that it's been dominated by Shattuck St. Mary's. Goals so far by Heisel, Jadaskova, and Karami. Coming down, here comes Shattuck once again. Just cutting to the front, another shot. Rebound is there, and it's 4-0 Shattuck. Goal is going to go to Savannah Stamp. Assists, Kate Watson. 17 minutes, check that. The timing on that goal. And for Savannah Stamp, that'll be her 8th goal of the year. Savannah, also from the Pacific Northwest, calls Maple Valley, Washington home. Kate Watson with assist. She's from St. Louis. And Heisel, Szeged, Hungary. Or Szeged, Szeged. Already up by 4. Shattuck St. Mary's, another opportunity that time down the ice. That was Watson. Watson, one of the younger players on this Shattuck squad, a 2028 grad. Poked out of harm's way. That should get us to the end of the opening period, which has just a mere 4 ticks left. Maybe one quick shot, and it's going to go just wide. But appeared absolutely, as we said, dominated by Shattuck St. Mary's. 4-0 Sabres. Coming up after this one, we're going to have the other Shattuck St. Mary's squad. They're going to be playing Naha White at noon. And then Stansted is going to take on Team Illinois at 2 o'clock local time. And I give maybe a bit of an apology. I understand it was calling him Stan Steed for a while back in that first game. It's Stan Stead. And they came up just short against Northwood in an overtime loss in the opening game of this one. And the Pacific Steelers, they will play again. They play today and then they play again tomorrow morning. A 7:45 a.m. start. That's 5:45 at home for them back in Vancouver against Team Illinois. And for Shattuck St. Mary's 19 squad, they will play Naha White, 6 p.m. back here on this ice service. Shattuck St. Mary's prep against Northwood at 6 o'clock next door at Ritter Arena. And, of course, if you can't be here, check them out on YouTube. We'll be here with those games. You're on the JWHL.org. 18 minutes on the clock for the second period of what is technically termed an exhibition matchup. As we got Pacific, part of the JWHL squad. Shattuck St. Mary's, again, an invite. Or they're calling them a guest, technically. Back into the zone for Pacific Steelers. And we'll get our first whistle here of the second period, all of 29 seconds in. Face-off will be to the left, or check that, the right, I should say, of Aaron Monk. It's the left side from our vantage point, but we're back at center ice, so what matters is where it is for Monk and Shattuck, along with the Pacific Steelers. And it's Shattuck with another opportunity. Pacific, can they get something out of the zone this time? They can. Let's see if they can get something going this time offensively. Ackhurst trying to lead the rush down after a pass from Mia Lesko. Here comes Johnston trying to poke it ahead for the Steelers. Back across, Shattuck is there. Backhand and a big save that time by number 31, Sophia Phillips, as the Pacific Steelers have changed netminders. McKenna Deckham started the first. Gave up 4 officially, but can't really blame her on, dare I say, any of them. A lot of juicy rebounds and just lack of coverage on a Shattuck St. Mary player. It's one of those games I'm sure Dana Birch will show the Pacific Steelers and be like, ladies, here's what we got to work on to make that better. For Shattuck St. Mary's, a hockey school, basically, down in Faribault. A lot of top players have spent some time there. You think of like some NHL greats like Zach Parisi, Sidney Crosby, and others playing on the men's teams down there. Shattuck controls a good aggressive pass. There we go, got on the board for Pacific. It's going to be Mael Briggs with the goal. And we've said it before, 1 looks so much better on a scoreboard than 0. Briggs, great opportunity. Just a quick shot. And at 1:51 of the second period, the Steelers get on the board. Didn't see who had the initial shot. But yeah, the rebound was there, and Briggs did exactly what she should do with burying that one. A little bump on the far side boards. Just one penalty so far. That was back to Pacific in the opening period. And for Briggs, according to it's just her third game, and that's her first goal. She also does have an assist this year for the Pacific Steelers. Face off again in the Steelers zone. Steelers 0-7-0 in JWHL play. At the bottom of the league standings. Chaddick, their lead cut to 2. Or cut to 3, I should say. In my mind, I was thinking it was 3-1 for a moment. It's 4-1. And we've got a whistle. Puck drop should be just outside the Shattuck zone. And it looks like we're going to get a fresh 5 for Shattuck. And I believe we got a fresh 5 as well for Pacific. Let's go to draw against Heisel. And they're going to move that faceoff actually in to the Shattuck zone. Still going to be Lesko and Heisel. Let's see how much that goal can uplift the Pacific Steelers. Wheeling through the zone is number 16 for Shattuck. Backhand forehand. And the save is made, albeit an uncertain save, it appeared, judging by the reaction of Sophia Phillips. But no, she had that puck. As Jabiskova was the one coming down hard for Shattuck. Jabiskova, she'll play it on over at the half wall. She'll get it back into the corner. Bethel for Pacific tries to get something going up to her teammate and out of the zone. Ockhurst. Jabiskova to control again for Shattuck. And I thought they might have got away with an offside there. Rebound is in front. The initial save is made. And Phillips, a couple of quick stops. Again, Shattuck, a couple players right there on the doorstep. But we stay a 4-1 game. With 13:46 to go in the second. Shattuck wins this draw. Rising shot. I'm not sure Phillips ever saw that till it whizzed past. It was high over the net. Off the side of the net. And can they get it out of the own zone? No, that's another turnover. Incidental contact there. Double check both officials. Neither had their arm in the air. Long shot. That was deflected in front. Another quick shot. That one hits traffic. Another one goes just wide this time. Shattuck through the crease that time. 3 good opportunities for the dark-sweatered Shattuck St. Mary Sabres. As we're 5 minutes gone by in this second. 4-1, Shattuck in front. Pacific's just going to try to clear the zone, and it does finally squirt out. Number 28 giving chase was Sienna Ho Quang. But instead it's going to be Shattuck the other way. Karami. Shot. Wrister missed. Back in their own zone, Vasily for Shattuck. Pokes it ahead to number 17, Madrid Setterstrom. Yep, offsides that time. Good call. The official right there. Looked like Setterstrom made just a little bit of a deke, and it was enough to throw off her teammate. And for some reason, they've cranked up the music again here at 3M Arena at Mariucci. No idea. Starting to wonder if that's on some kind of a timer or something. I don't know why that would suddenly go off in the middle of a period, but it did. And we've got a whistle. Running some kind of golden gopher ad, it sounds like. No idea. Okay, that went away. Go Gophers, Sky Yama. I don't know. Whatever. $11:40 here, second period. SSM starting to take over once again as that puck goes up into the netting. Did it fall back on the playing surface? Nope, I think it fell on the other side of the glass. No, it did fall on the playing surface. The officials kind of looked at each other like, you got it? You got it? And the other one was kind of skating towards the penalty box area like, we're going to need one. And then, no. Quick shot. Oh, Phillips got the save on that one. Popped up right in front of her. Phillips going to try it again. And Shattuck doing a good job at getting bodies in front. Notice Phillips a couple times early having to bob and weave just to see where that puck is. Trying to backhand in front, nothing doing that time. Pacific going to send it around off the stick of Cooper. Back in low, Shattuck in front. Trying to go up high side, didn't do it, popped up high off the stick of Clifford. Earlier, she's the leading scorer this year for Shattuck St. Mary's. 10.5 to go in the second. Only goal of this period to the Pacific Steelers. Mael Briggs with the honors. Was that one tipped? No, it wasn't. Icing. Coming all the way back here on the ice surface of 3M Arena at Mariucci. Shattuck once again wins the draw. Stop, spin. From the dot, shot high up in the netting. We'll do this all over again, just at the other circle. As that shot went off the stick of Ava Karame, 2027 grad. There's a penalty going to come up on Shattuck. I would assume that's going to be a rough. Cross-check, actually, they're going to say. Javiskova to sit for 2 minutes. First power play of this hockey game for Pacific. Yeah, pretty obvious call. When you do that right in front of the official, it's just a matter of was it going to be a rough or a cross-check. And cross-check it is officially at 7:57. So Pacific on the power play for the first time. 33.3% on the limited power play opportunities they have had thus far. It's 2 for 6 this season. We got some music blaring up in the concourse. Teams for our next game getting ready. Coming up at noon, we've got SSM Prep against Naha White. And I'm going to guess that's Naha White with the the music maker going on. Like we mentioned yesterday, they had a big, I don't know, glorified boombox, if you want to call it that was cranking out some tunes. I know for all you youngsters, look up what a boombox was. Or ask your parents. They'll know. Kept in Johnson. Oh, that puck did stay in. I was trying to get to that far side for Lesko. Redirect Lee couldn't quite connect. Reggie Lee was right there. Would have been a huge goal for the Pacific to get within 4-2. Instead, they're going to keep that one in. Lee again. Man, couldn't keep that one in, neither she nor Johnston. Phillips to come out to play it to the far side out of harm's way. And Johnston will lead the rush with 24 to go in the player advantage. Caught it out of the corner of my eye. It looks like Naha was playing soccer and the ball went down about 6 rows in one of the sections here at Mariucci. I'm sorry, 3M Arena at Mariucci. As the old timers will call it, Mariucci. Back at full strength is Shattuck St. Mary's with 8 minutes to go in this middle period. 4-1 Pacific. Ho Kwang leading the rush for Pacific. She gets upended into the zone. Little incidental contact. Tries to backhand it up. Shattuck will have to tag. They do, and they're also going to change, put a fresh 3 on the ice with that opportunity. Into the zone, shot. Nothing doing that time. There's Ho Kwang. Okay. Here comes Shattuck. Potential 3-on-1. For sure, 2-1. Clifford across. Couldn't quite connect with her teammate, number 6, Hale. A little bit of a saucer pass. Just didn't quite connect. It was a nice defensive play back there by the Pacific defender. Looks like Alexa Durante out for Pacific as well right now, number 29. First time we've called that name. Whistle because we've got an ice with 6:40 to go. Face off to the right of Phillips. Sophia's been a little busy back there between the pipes in her lone period of action thus far. Shattuck yet to score in this frame. They had 4 in the first. Starting at 1:02 and then 7:38, 15:06, and the 17-minute mark. Not that they haven't had chances this period, but Phillips has been up to the task. And some other Shattuck shots have been near misses. I would think shot on temps for Shattuck have got to be something like 4-1, if not 5-1 for the ratio. Kept in, Shattuck. Bouncing puck, not going to quite get to Phillips. Stop, turn. Entered in front, intercepted that time. Nice defensive play by the Pacific Steelers. Might have been, I think that was Johnson, actually, and it was that was right there in front. Played that one perfectly. That one never got through. Blocked on the way through. Again, Shattuck continues to control. Centered in front, looking for the tip. Nice read by Phillips. Heisel looking for her second of the morning. Couldn't get it. Nice feet, though, coming across that time by Jebaskova. Jebaskova's got a goal earlier as well for SSM. .5:12 to go. Second period. SSM, no. Phillips with another save. Phillips definitely getting a workout this period between the pipes for Pacific. And so far, more than up to the task. Phillips comes into the year, sir. She started 3 games, 497 goals against average. 16 years old is Sophia Phillips. Very diminutive goaltender. Just looking at her bio on the Pacific Steeler page. Pacific into the Shattuck zone with 4 minutes to go in the second period. Here from 3M Arena at Mariucci. We're here on the University of Minnesota campus. Hopefully far enough away from all the civil unrest that Minneapolis has been going through the last few days or weeks, really. Faceoff will be in the Shattuck St. Mary zone as Monk had made a glove save. I'm trying to recall if we've even mentioned Monk earlier this period at all for Shattuck St. Mary's, their netminder. Other than maybe when the goal was scored back by Briggs. But then again, that was a pass across with a wide open net to shoot at, and Briggs did not miss. And Shattuck forced to regroup as that pass across the blue line came back out to the neutral zone. 3:02 to go, second period. We'll be resurfacing after this frame. Dumped ahead, kept out at neutral. Pacific will try to get something going. This time they lose the puck back into their own zone, but it's going to be via an icing. So face off in the Shattuck St. Mary's end. To the right of Monk, Lesko on the draw for Pacific. The Cooper on her right wing, and number 7 on her left wing was Ackhurst. Trying to get the tip through that time to Clifford. Didn't happen for Shattuck. And here come Shattuck, the Sabres, once again deep into the zone. I have to double check, but I thought I saw on their website the Shattuck St. Mary's team is something like 33-7 coming into this game on the season. Steered aside again by Phillips. He's had a lot of saves in this frame. I stand corrected. 33-8 coming into this one. As I quickly click on the Shattuck St. Mary's website. Phillips, I think, had the arm out. Maybe she thought it was icing. Or she was just trying to direct one of her defenders. More likely. 16 for, that was Allison Baker for Pacific. Johnson with the puck. Backhand, no, trying to go top shelf. Hines with nothing doing that time. Back in front. Again, good defensive play that time by the Pacific Steelers. Inside 45 seconds to go in this period. Puck all the way down. No, Monk's going to have to play it. Otherwise, we would have had an icing. And Monk will just ring it around the boards behind her net. Again, Briggs in. Trying to get that one-timer, maybe trying to catch Monk a little out of position. And penalty upcoming on the Pacific Steelers. Easy call that time. As Shattuck back into the zone, and there's the touch of the puck. And we'll send a Steeler. It's going to be Lee sitting this time for the Steelers with 15.8 seconds remaining in this period. Not sure if it's a trip or a check. I didn't definitely put a Shattuck player into the boards. So can Shattuck get one here in the closing seconds, make this 5-1, or will we have the bulk of the power play in the third period? Rebound was there. Back in front, and the bulk of the power play will be in the third period all the way down. Horn sounds. And 2 periods gone by. Shattuck, St. Mary's 19. They have 4. Pacific Steelers have 1. We'll take a break and we'll be back for third period action. You're watching JWHL Hockey. And we're just underway with the third period as Shattuck St. Mary's leads the Pacific Steelers by a 4-1 count. Shattuck on the power play as we start this period. Phillips still between the pipes for Pacific. Again, very strong second period for Sophia Phillips. Shattuck had 4 in the first, and then the one in the second went to the Pacific Steelers. Puts us where we are, 4-1 hockey game. What is technically considered an exhibition contest. It's Shattuck St. Mary's an invite to the JWHL facility or tournament this weekend here in Minneapolis. Shattuck able to keep that one at the neutral zone. And the Naha kids we got some serious dancing going on for the Naha kids warming up for the next game. I can look down to the left here in the concourse at Mariucci Arena. Our camera guy, Jason Hetland, also starting to jam. Trust me, he's on the right side of the camera. $19 to go on the player advantage for Shattuck. Up by a 4-1 count. Shot from way out. That goes wide of Phillips. That was a blast that time by Vasily. And that one goes whistling wide on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pacific now back at full strength. As Reggie Lee, she's actually she was heading to the bench. Puck came out. Can she get her wheels going? She's taken down. It's going to be a penalty against Shattuck St. Mary's. It's going to be a hook. But just timing on that one, Lee came across. I don't think had any intention of playing a puck. He was heading right to the bench, and then look what I've got. And then, sure enough, draws a penalty on Shattuck's number 2 as Vasily. Again, apologize if I'm off on that one. Vasily. Anyway, 103 time of that one here in period number 3. Pretty much a must-score situation, I would think, for Pacific. Down by 3 goals against Shattuck St. Mary's. And Shattuck is definitely had the better of play for much of this hockey game. And that's going to go down. Should be an ice, and it will be. That's not how you want to start it if you're Pacific. Face-off will be to the left of Sophia Phillips. I think I might have called her Allison for some reason. Sophia Phillips. If I did, I apologize. I don't know why or where that came from. At neutral, it's going to go, you take it. Nope, here's Heisel coming in. Tied up by Johnson. Heisel, a spin move. Phillips still all over that one. Opportunity in front, and Phillips got that left pad out. Showing some agility. .43 to go for the player advantage for Shattuck St. Mary's. Did they come once again? Tried to pass it across to Clifford. Clifford's taken down, and we're going to have a penalty coming on Pacific. Looks like it's going to be a hook against the Steelers. This one will come at 3:36. So we'll have 25 seconds of 4-on-4. And then a 1:35 power play. Is that correct? I've been saying Shattuck had the power play. I stand corrected. It was Pacific with the power play. I'm just reading the scoreboard incorrectly. My apologies to the viewers. Like number 28, by the way, Sienna Ho Quang, the guilty party for Pacific. Shot goes wide of Monk between the pipes. Might have been Lesko with the shot. I know I checked the back. It was 18 Montaigne in front. Now we have Shattuck on the power play. Shattuck stop spins. They try to regroup. Madigan Nemke going to lead the rush 14. 19 in there for Shattuck. It's Kate Watson. Jebaskova. Jebaskova cannot beat Phillips with that shot. Phillips definitely our player of the game for Pacific. As we said, smallish in stature, but she is standing tall between the pipes. Keeping this one in is Shattuck. Thinking about the Michigan there was Javiskova. Shot from way out. Juicy rebound. Phillips again with a couple of big saves. She might have got an extra whack for her efforts down there by a Shattuck player. Of course, you see Javiskova going for the Michigan goal. Goal famous made against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. 20 to go, player advantage. Rebound. Phillips sprawled. Phillips continues to sprawl. And she'll sprawl some more with another one, keeping this puck out of the net. Shattuck, another opportunity. Heisel cannot beat Phillips. This game could easily be 8-9-1, I think, if not for the play of Phillips right now. .12:31 to go. Power play has expired, and Pacific now back at full strength. Will this be a burst of energy, shall we say, for Pacific? Or will SSM be able to keep the pressure on? Shattuck near side, back up top. Long shot. That was blocked in front by a defender. Might have been, that was 20. That was Ho Quang, I believe, with the block. .11.5 to go. And 4 goals early on for Shattuck. One in the middle period by the Pacific Steelers. Puts us where we are. Coming through number 7 for Shattuck, Ellie McIntosh. Loses the puck and dumped out into the zone by London Abrahams Rothery for Pacific. As we said, the Pacific Steelers, 19U, based in Vancouver, British Columbia. Up in front, nobody home there that time for SSM. And back, out we go. With 10.5 to go in the third. So we have both players from Naha and the Shattuck St. Mary's prep team. I'd say gathering around, cutting near some of the end boards to watch a little bit of this one. We've got a roughing penalty upcoming on Shattuck's number 15, Savannah Stamp. I saw she'd gotten a little bit of a post-whistle shove, shall we say, from Alexa Durante. Although shove might be a strong word. It was kind of an arm up kind of thing. But bottom line, Pacific power play. That goes wide of the cage. Aaron Monk is the netminder for Shattuck St. Mary. Ten minutes to go in this hockey game. 1:36 to go. Player advantage for Pacific. Almost a turnover. It is actually going to be a turnover deep in the Pacific end. And that's Shattuck's number 10, Heisel. Heisel's been all over the ice for the Sabres today. Strong game for that young lady. And we got more tunes. I just looked over at the scores table. Whoever's over there kind of raises their hand like, I didn't do it. I think, so that got to be on some kind of a timer or something, doesn't it? Although we didn't have that yesterday for any of the games. I don't know. No idea. Okay, that stopped. 43 to go. Player advantage for the Steelers. That one tipped. Tried to get there on the tip that time. It was Cooper. Unable to do so, and that'll be shot all the way down out of harm's way by SSM. Pacific, can they break anything out of the zone? This will be Briggs. Briggs, who had the goal back in that second period, had a good chance at another late in the frame, unable to connect. .21 to go. Power play. SSM trying to come in potentially shorthanded. Nice deep move going to the forehand. Guess what? Phillips, save. Wallander, the potential goal scorer that time for Shattuck. Wallander, who will play at Wesleyan. Another opportunity for Maggie Wallander. Did she beat Phillips this time? Nope. No, she cannot, as Phillips, again, yet to allow a goal in a period and about a period and a half of play for her. Inside 8 minutes to go from Mariucci Arena, a 3M Arena at Mariucci. Somebody lost a twig coming in. That was actually one of the SSM players. She heads to the bench. That was Hale McIntosh. Or check that back. Grable comes in to replace her. Kenzie Graby, a Merrimack commit from Shattuck St. Mary's, wears sweater number 8. Mentioned Kenzie Graby from Moores, New York. Playing for Shattuck St. Mary's, like I said. about an hour south of here in Faribault. Another shot, that time off the stick of number 20 or 16, Julie Jebaskova. Prague, Czechia is what Julie calls home. Well, Pacific's going to have to hurry. They are down by 3 with 6.5 to go. You don't want to say it's an insurmountable task. That's, boy, another save that time. Phillips, man, that might have got the butt end of her stick. But the way Shattuck's moving the puck and controlling play, 3 goals is a, dare I say, a Mount Rainier kind of hill to climb, to use a Pacific Northwest analogy. Okay, yeah, I know Mount Rainier's Washington, but close enough. Pacific Steelers turn, go. Dump it in. They're going to finish a full 5-player, changes that puck deep into the Sabre zone. Shattuck will just be happy to poke it out. That one did get out, I thought. Apparently not. Official did have the arm in the air as Lee has a stick break on that far side. There's a few $100 going to be spent for that. 2-on-1 for Shattuck. Couldn't quite convert. Player goes upended, slides down. No harm, no foul. Shattuck continues to control. Phillips continues to keep the goose egg since she's been in. 5:07 to go. Phillips took over to start the second period after McKenna Deckham had, dare we say, a shooting gallery against her in the first with all the pressure that SSM put on. Yeah, it's probably not the net. Yeah, considering happened in Minneapolis again this morning with ICE agents killing another person. Yeah, shooting gallery, yeah, probably not the right phrase. Hopefully here at the University of Minnesota, we're far enough away from all of the turmoil. Phillips, another save. Down to just over 4.5 to go. We get coming up at noon. We've got another game on tap for you. It'll be the SSM Prep against Naha White. And then Stansted against Team Illinois. A little non-league exhibition play coming up scheduled for 2 o'clock here at 3M Arena at Mariucci. I don't know. Odds were above 0 by then. Slim to none, I think, judging by the forecast. That goes. Phillips, another save. Sitting on the puck. Shattuck's got to be saying, how is this puck not going in? We've had chance after chance after chance. That time was Cinnamon Weaver with a great opportunity. Kept in at the point by Shattuck, albeit briefly. Back into the zone. Shattuck successfully tags up. Backhand over by Johnston. Pacific a little too far on the outlet pass. Intercepted by Shattuck's number 18, DeBus. Louise DeBus, who said St. Scholastica. I think they got away with a hold there. Then there was a little bit of a follow-up slash on that one, but with 3:20 to go. Phillips again, another save. I kind of think at this point the officials are, unless it's blatant, may not be getting a whistle. That one's no icing on this one going down. Tipped on the way out, I believe. A little too far that time. Shattuck couldn't keep it in. Pacific Bringing it into the zone that time was Durante. Her teammate got out just in the nick of time. Battle of the half wall near side. Whistle because we have a too many player penalty, I believe, coming up against Pacific. Official came over, holding up 6 fingers, and then they opened the door on the other side going, we need somebody over here. So too many players against the Steelers. Taylor Lateni to sit on behalf of her team. Two and a half to go in the game, 150 in the power play. I think about the only drama at this point is, can Phillips post the shutout for those 2 periods? Since Sophia come into the game, she's got a .565 goals against average with an .860 on the save percentage, but she has been a wall for almost 2 full periods for the Pacific Steelers. Comes Shattuck. Look up there. It looks like their top PP unit is out there. That one went wide of the cage. I think it went off a player on the way through. It might have been Durante. That goes just wide. Another save. That might hit the outside of the cage after Phillips got a piece of it. No, that one's a miss. 47 to go. Player advantage. Shattuck. Shattuck going to try near side. Back up top, far side. Nope. Heisel's got a goal and a helper, nearly looking for a second tally there. Back out to number 16, Julia Jebuskova, we mentioned. She had one earlier in the first period. Phillips, another save. Oh, puck, can that one squirt out across the blue line? No, kept in. No, it wasn't. Heisel reached all the way over, got that stick there, and she and the puck got there about the same time. Heisel, stopped by Phillips. Rebound, stopped by Phillips. With 42.9 to go in the game. Yeah, 1 second for the penalty, which I don't think anything's going to happen on that one. That's basically about enough time to drop the puck, is it not? And she comes out of the box. Oh, that one, another save. I was hoping to see some stats put up on the site, but this has been an exhibition game. We haven't. We'll see if we can find out, though, from somebody how many saves Phillips is going to end up making. Shattuck just continues to run their offense in the waning seconds of this one. Puck is going to stay in. Maybe Phillips is going to maybe have to make one more save, but the buzzer is going to sound, and it's going to complete a 4-1 win by Shattuck St. Mary's. But I noticed Phillips just tilted her head back and kind of looked up, and I don't know if that was a thank the heavens for this performance kind of reaction. But again, outstanding effort by Sophia Phillips for the Pacific Steelers. But it's not enough as her team falls by a 4-1 count to the Shattuck St. Mary's 19U squad. And Deckham comes out, the other goaltender who gave about 4 in the first. Again, not her fault by any means. But teams will shake hands. And that's going to wrap it up here from 3M Arena at Mariucci. Again, your final score, the Shattuck St. Mary's 19 team for the Pacific Steelers 1. Thanks for watching, and we've got more JWHL hockey coming up in just a little bit.